ask me I would call it a paucity. There was no evidence being presented of any strength. Evidence can be hearsay evidence. It's still evidence, but it's still hearsay. But strong judicial quality evidence, anything that would say to me, you have a doubt, deny your oath. I will not do that. More than one occasion throughout all this, that has been brought up. And it is a tenet of my faith that the Constitution is divinely inspired, of my most basic foundational beliefs. And so for me to do that because somebody just asked me to is foreign to my very being. I will not do it.
It's foreign to his being. He doesn't know how to do it. It's his faith. It's his belief in the country. It's his patriotism. All those things were praised when Rusty Bowers talked about the reasons why he turned down Donald Trump's offer to overturn the election and go against his faith, his patriotism, and his love of country. All those things that he says are principles in his soul. That's why he said later that he'd vote for Donald Trump again, because Donald Trump apparently embodies all of those things. Here's his reasoning, because he wouldn't spoke about it.
Stick a mic in my face. Will you vote for Trump again versus Biden? And if you're limiting the choice to those two, just because of the implementation of the policy, I would have to go with the one who would implement the policy. If you're asking me if I want Donald Trump to be president again, the answer is no, I don't. And I want options. I want somebody who does respect the Constitution and won't intimidate people as a rule of his psyche. I'm a conservative. I believe in conserving. I believe in its expression. It happened just last night at my Capitol when they broke out the tear gas. I believe in those things that hold us together. But I don't want him. If you're asking me straight up, I don't believe that his character is what leads. I think that's why he lost.
I don't believe his character is what leads. And he brought up this incident that happened at the Arizona Capitol after Roe versus Wade was overturned. And he doesn't want these things to happen in this country. He doesn't want this unrest. We're gonna see this in a second. He doesn't want this unrest to go down. It's weird because the entire thing that you're even known for right now nationally is how you were part of rejecting this unrest, or at least this overturning of an election, which led to unrest by that same president that you said you will vote for again. So where do your principles actually lie? I think it lies within his party, because this is what he's upset about, because these are people that don't agree with his stances on abortion. Let's watch. So tear gas was shot at those protesters that were banging on windows and doors at the state capitol there, and he's upset about that. I'm curious what he felt about January 6th and why he would be happy to see that again, Jackson.
Yeah, well, of course, the divinely inspired document of the Constitution that's had to, get an amendment to free slaves. But, that aside, you pointed it out. Rusty Bowers, he's going to be voting for Trump no matter what, because he's a partisan Republican. And it's always interesting, well, not interesting because it's the same old story, but when they point out, the agenda, Biden's Bernie Sanders agenda, and it's like, we all know that Biden is incredibly conservative and that he's not putting forth anything that economically conservatives have that big of a deal with, because he ain't talking about nothing. However, it's the cultural issues, it's the abortion, it's the browning of America. It's those things that the Democratic Party typically just really doesn't touch. You know what I mean? Except for people like Henry Cuellar. That's why he's still gonna vote for Donald Trump, because of those issues.
Absolutely, I mean, that's the thing. And he basically said it, he's like, well, and by the way, everybody, I believe, especially Democrats lately, have been having to deal with who do I vote for, because we've got a party that's not doing anything. They're like, well, how come you guys keep voting for them? Well, they do the lesser of two evils talk and all that. But in this case, it's like, which one? He broke down specifically. I've got principles about my country and my life and my liberty and my faith. All that he said so eloquently and beautifully, and oh my God, it's America. But then immediately went to, but I'll vote for the guy who is in opposition to all of those things. Yes, President Biden is in opposition to a lot of things that I believe in. And I'm thinking, the other guy I'm not voting for is in opposition to those things plus more. So that's the reasoning behind it. But he's like, my basis principles is like my life and liberty and pursuit of happiness is threatened. I can't take it. I'm gonna vote for the guy who did that. It just doesn't make any sense because it's not really what he believes. He thinks he does. I don't think he's lying. He's just a little confused.